was after your breast cancer diagnosis, and you've been sharing your journey. I love the updates that you've been posting for everybody. But we want a full update this morning. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Well, I feel good. It's interesting because the last time we sat here, we were in tears, and I was, and there was a lot of fear. And it was because, for me, the unknown. I didn't know what stage it was. I didn't know if it spread. I didn't know those things. But right now, those unknowns have been answered. It's, I had the surgery. They removed the detectable cancer. It was stage 1, and it did not spread, so it did not metastasize. So that was great news. I don't have the BRCA gene because one of the areas that they were concerned about is because of my age when I was diagnosed. So I don't have the gene for it. And then the test that they ran showed that I also didn't need chemo. So I am so thankful to all of you all for your support, all of the viewers, for all of the cards that they sent. I just now finally got back through all of them,
reading through them,
the prayers and everything. So for me right now, it's just maintaining and taking the pills to make sure that the cancer doesn't return.
Your strength is just so inspiring. And I remember sitting like this on the couch with you when we were talking about it the first time. But just to revisit, I mean, you found this.
Yes, it was, as I said, I worked with Regina Brett, who is a former columnist for The Plain Dealer, and she's a breast cancer survivor. And she really preached self-exams and all those different things. So since working with her, I did the self-exam and found the lump in November and already had the mammogram scheduled for December, my first ever mammogram.
Yeah.
You learned a lot about life and yourself during this journey, didn't you?
Yes, I learned that emotions can exist together. So at some moments I was fearful, but then it's amazing how people in your life bring joy and people in your life bring comfort. And there's a sign that we have as I walked in and I saw it says, you know, what matters most in life is the depth of your relationships, so the depth of them. And it's like, man, really investing in relationships because when you need the people, they are there.
Do you feel like you have a new perspective coming out of this journey?
I do. We celebrated my grandmother turning 100 in February. We were all there, right? And I just assumed, that's my grandma. I've kind of lived my life like her, so I'll get to 90, 100. But this showed me that life isn't guaranteed, and you have to make the most of whatever time you have left.
I want to ask you too, just because you kind of touched upon it, but I'm sure a lot of people who are also fighting this fight, or maybe one day will fight this fight, are curious, what is next for your treatment process?
So what's next is, you know, they continue to monitor, and basically I need to take a pill for the next 10 years. And what they said, chemo was on the table because, and I was like, well, wait a minute, I thought it was stage 1, you caught it early. Both of my parents had cancer, and you know, they had the surgery and they didn't need chemo, but they said that the cancer had access to my bloodstream. So they will never ever say you're cancer free because now it's all about fighting the invisible enemy. Like, because it had access to my bloodstream, it could have microscopic cancer cells could have gone somewhere. And so now the fight is against that invisible enemy of trying to make sure it doesn't reappear anywhere else.
Well, as you see,
I'm so sorry. I have something that I want to say, just for those of you that don't know her and that follow her on social media. You're such a positive person, right?
Oh.
I mean, you're filled with quotes and inspiration and scripture. What is something that really pushed you through? It's hard to stay positive through something like this. And what pushed you through?
I think, again, it's the people in my life, because I couldn't, like, my mom, my husband, my children, everyone, all of you, and the support that WKYC gave me, and you all too, at home sending me messages, and I've read them. I didn't always have the energy to respond, but I get a lot of my energy from positivity from people. That's, you know, all of you all. And
listen,
it's just amazing.
I hope I don't offend anyone, but I love your faith.
I love you too.
I love your prayer. All right. I mean, and we love you. Danielle, we are easing Danielle back in. We are going to be doing a Do It for Danielle campaign to help encourage everyone to perform self-exams, do what she did, participate in early protection. So we're going to have more on this, how you can be a part of it all. That is coming up a little bit later this month. But Danielle, we are just so glad we're easing Danielle back in, like I said. So you're going to be seeing her throughout, but we're not going to make you do this brutal schedule right away.
You're getting
you're
back
still
to normal.
recovering.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much, Carmen.
Anything you need.
Hey,
I
listen,
got you, sister.
I mean, that enemy's going down.